Alright, Daytona fans, today we're going to be replacing the right side of this gauge cluster. As you can tell, it doesn't light up. So at night, I won't know how fast I'm going past 50 miles an hour. And I also won't be able to see the oil pressure or the battery light. Now, in order to replace the dash lights, we're going to have to take out these 3 screws right here, right there, and right there. Now, the first 5 visible screws, we're going to use a 7mm socket. That's going to go in here, and of course, underneath the radio there. All right, 5 screws are out. Let's put that right there. And we can start pulling apart this panel. Now I'm gonna have to remove that screw now. Next thing we gotta do is remove a couple of screws here and here. Looks like there were 4 screws I had to remove. 1 there, 2 there, and 1 there. Now this is the hood latch release. As you can see right here, those 2 holes matches up with these 2 holes. Now once that's out, all you have to do is pull on these top 2 tabs and the whole thing falls apart. And this is what it looks like underneath. As you can see, there are 4 more bolts we got to deal with, and that's going to be here, here, down there, and down there. And for that panel, we're going to be using a 8mm socket instead of a 7. All right, 4 screws are out. Here is the steel panel. And now this is what the car looks like without those 2 panels. Now the reason we had to remove that panel was because we had to get to this bolt here and to this bolt here. And that's going to loosen up this entire trim, which will allow us to pull the gauge out. Now everything's loose, we should just be able to side and just work your way around the trim. And as you can tell, everything is coming out nice and easy. There we go. The panel's mostly out. All we have to do is grab the right side, flip it off, and just take these 2 plugs out, and then this trim will be completely disconnected. Now the last thing we got to do is remove these black bolts here and here on both sides, and the gauge should be able to just pop right out afterwards. Now for these 7mm, you're going to need to employ a socket with an extension, because this one down here, as you can see, it barely just fits in there. And if I only had the socket, I would not have been able to get the ratchet inside to loosen it. So for the bottom one, you're going to need an extension. The top one you won't, but we're just going to leave it on. Now another amazing reason to have a small Phillips with a magnet at the end is because I can't put both my fingers in there to get that screw. So all I have to do is get the magnet to do the job for me. Simple. Now that we have that pulled out, the gauge should just come out. As you can see here, it just pops right out with no effort at all. Now we're gonna have to get to these plugs in the back, and all you're gonna have to do is press on this knob right here and pull out. All right, the gauge cluster is out, and there are 3 plugs you're gonna have to unplug, at least for the manual transmission. There's gonna be 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. All right, now that we have the gauge cluster removed, we're gonna be replacing these black ones right here. These black sockets just twist in like that and twist out, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Now I know it was just the right side that's out, but I'm going to replace all of them because I don't know when the next time these things are going to go out. So I'd much rather have fresh bulbs. That way I don't have to worry about them. Alright, the bulbs have been replaced. And here's a nice comparison of what a blown bulb and a new bulb looks like. The blown one's on the left. As you can see, it's a little bit black. And the clear, clean one is a brand new bulb. I've replaced them all. Now it's time to reassemble and hope that it works. Now before we go any further with the reassembly, let's see if it works. There we go. As you can tell, the right side lights up now versus before where it didn't. So let's go ahead and put everything back together. Alright, Daytona fans, everything has been reassembled. As you can tell there. Now let's just start the car one more time to make sure everything works. As you can count, there we go. Left side lights up. The right side lights up. Alright, Daytona fans, that's it for this video. It's honestly a really easy repair. All you're going to need is some time and a couple of sockets. If you have an older car, like this 2002 Ford Ranger, it's pretty straightforward. The newer cars, they're about the same. They just need a little bit more finesse. There's a little more plastic to it. And what that means is that you're going to have to pull a little softer. Now, I would rate this repair probably a 2.5, maybe 3 out of 10. It's really not that difficult. All you need are the right tools and a little bit of time. Daytona fans, I hope this video was entertaining and educational at the same time. Until the next one, have a great day. Peace.